Welcome, guys, and to a new episode of Blockchain series. Today is, I think, the sixth video, and in today's video, we will be discussing about environmental issues connected with the many types of coins. In the series we already discussed about the number of coins. There are more than 15,000 coins, and different type of coins have different type of consensus algorithms, and that makes the difference. There is proof of work, there is proof of stake, there is proof of authority. Proof of work uses a lot of computational power. Proof of stake uses the staking mechanism. Different type of things we discussed in the previous videos. In today's session, it's a short session, and we will see which consensus algorithm has what type of impact environmentally, and why there is a lot of outcry in the media, and why people are saying that to stop mining Bitcoin and different type of things. Without further ado, let's begin, and please like and subscribe. Okay, coming to the intro, yeah, it is just a basic intro. We already know about that blockchain networks lack a central authority because it is decentralized, and consensus mechanisms enable trustless oversight. Each crypto has its own consensus mechanism, and that is what makes each project unique. We already discussed about the consensus algorithms. Yeah, that's true. And in the next slide, we will be going through a summary of different consensus algorithm, which is just a summary of the previous video. The proof of work consensus mechanism consumes a vast amount of electricity. We already discussed that. It requires a lot of guessing work, so it requires a lot of computational power. And and they naturally draw more energy than centralized solutions. Okay, something little bit about the blockchain architecture to have a recap of everything. The blockchain architecture uses the mechanism of distributing. Yeah, so there are nodes, and nodes are people like me and you, where each node validates or has a copy of the ledger. Distributing the information rather than copying it means the ledger in blockchain database is distributed to each of the nodes. It is intended to timestamp digital documents so that it is not possible to tamper with them whenever information is recorded. This thing we already discussed, but it's just a distributed platform or an environment, or web-based distributed node is distributed with all the blockchain details. Different type of consensus algorithms. We already saw this slide in the previous video. There are different type of consensus algorithm. There is proof of work, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, proof of authority, and what each means we already discussed in the previous video. Proof of importance, proof of burn, proof of activity. Shiba Inu is going for proof of burn. This is a new news in the market. So let's see. I think it's better to invest little bit in the Shiba Inu. Not a financial advice, but maybe due to market craze, it will get a boost. So invest and take the profit back. Environmentally, so we have categorized our session in this manner. The environmental impact is connected with the consensus algorithm, and consensus algorithm is connected to the coins. Excuse me. So we'll start with the proof of work. Proof of work, as we discussed earlier, Bitcoin uses and Ethereum also uses the concept of proof of work. And in this proof of work, a lot of guessing happens. So it requires a lot of computational power, and because of computational power, we buy more GPUs, and that is a non-environmental impact. And there is a big competition. The prices of GPUs are going high. The and this has a negative impact on the gamers as well as the designers, like people who are into industrial engineering, and they require good GPUs to do the computation of the 3D images, and they are facing trouble also. So there is big competition among the miners, and this is causing a big rise in the GPU prices. So even I have bought a GPU also, which is double the price. Okay, coming to the environmental impact of proof of work. Well, it taking the example of Bitcoin, and I have my information from DigiCommunist. So it proof of work requires 2.5 times more electricity to process one Bitcoin transaction, which is equivalent to or more than 1,000 Visa transactions. Like Visa, I use my card to pay something. So which is one Bitcoin transaction is equivalent to 100,000 Visa transactions. It's huge. It total an approximate estimate that Bitcoin uses or accounts for over 1% of the United States total energy use, which is massive. Uh, it is consuming around 73.12 TWH, yeah, terawatt hours, and it's increasing. So one can imagine the scale of power because although it is consuming the electricity, and the electricity is related with how the way which it is produced. So there is a big outcry about proof of work and to ban proof of work because we are already facing the environmental crisis of increasing greenhouse effect or greenhouse effect, increasing temperature, and etc. etc. So yeah, I think in future Ethereum is moving towards Ethereum 2, and that is based on the proof of stake. It's a new news, and people are already happy about that. So Ethereum prices are waiting to get high, I think in the mid of the year. But I haven't heard any news about Bitcoin, so I think Bitcoin will continue with proof of work. Okay, proof of stake. I could have taken the example of Ethereum, but Ethereum is not yet in the market, so I took the example of Tezos as a coin. Well, we saw proof of work is requires high computational power, that's why it consumes high electricity. Well, proof of stake, it consumes less than 95% of the power than proof of work. Not 95, but 98% less power. Because here the mechanism is that I have some number of coins, I will stake it, and based on my quantity of coins, there is a like a randomness involved, and that is how the probability of number of coins higher the number of coins is, the higher is the probability of getting more coins. To give a comparison, the Bitcoin network can only conduct roughly 5 transactions per second at an energy of 830 kilowatt hours. Ethereum is 15 transactions per second and power consumed is 50 kilowatt hour, while proof of stake uses only 30 milliwatt hour, which is super less. So here we can make a comparison that how much power is consumed in proof of stake and why people are more preferring towards proof of stake. So these two, proof of work and proof of stake, are the most famous consensus algorithm because Bitcoin and Ethereum, yeah, they are famous. That's why these two consensus algorithm are famous. But there are other consensus algorithm also, that is proof of authority. And proof of authority, my favorite, VECHAin, is using this consensus model. And please refer to my other playlist where every day I show my portfolio. I have invested somewhat around 945 euros, and I expect double the return. So each day I share my portfolio and show the viewers how my portfolio is performing. Okay, proof of authority consensus doesn't require node to spend computational resources for solving mathematical tasks. Okay, energy consumption is similar to proof of stake, and that is 95% or 98% less than proof of work. Good. Proof of burn. Shiba Inu is going for this. Well, it is hardly used in any project. Slimcoin, a cryptocurrency, used it in the past, I have given this reference for the viewers to see. Proof of bond, what proof of bond does, aims to provide a different incentive mechanism for nodes to participate in validating transaction. Okay, so what is the incentive mechanism? Proof of bond can be seen as precisely the opposite of what the central bank does. It destroys the currency instead of printing it. So instead of burning electricity and hardware like proof of work, proof of bond just burns its own coins. And what does burning means? Means sending it to another unknown address to provide an incentive for nodes to be good actors in the blockchain. Miners get paid through transaction fees. There is artificial created scarcity. Means whenever the miner validates the transaction, they are getting paid, and some amount of coins are burnt also. So if there is 1 billion coins, then we burn around 20 to 30% of the coins. So it creates scarcity. There is a demand and supply imbalance, and then and that increases the value of the coins. It is not tested at large scale. Scalability is not proven yet. So it's still under experimentation phase, but the energy consumption is very, very low in this case. So that's why I don't have a concrete figure or a value of how much proof of bond consumes, but it's based on word of mouth. This is how the proof of bond will work. Okay, proof of activity. Proof of activity is a consensus algorithm, and it's a combination of proof of work and proof of stake. So the energy consumption is higher than proof of stake and lower than proof of work. In POA, the mining process begins the same as in proof of work, with various miners trying to outpace each other with higher computing power to find a new block. So it uses the mining method or mechanism to validate the transactions. When a new block is found or mined, the system switches to proof of stake with newly found block containing only a header miner's address. For this also, I don't have a concrete value of how much power is consumed, but overall, yeah, it is power. It consumes a high power because there is mining involved here, and there also that also causes the competition among the miners, which causes consumption of more electricity. Decode is a well-known cryptocurrency that uses proof of authority consensus mechanism. Okay, moving forward, proof of weight. Proof of weight is a variation of proof of stake, and Algorand, a company, deployed it. The proof of means, for example, means it also consumes around less power. Like proof of stake, it consumes around 95% less or 90% less than proof of work. Similarly, proof of weight also has that much of consumption only. What happens exactly in proof of stake? Each participant's probability of finding the next block is determined by number of tokens, like proof of authority. However, the proof of weight values are assigned to participants based on asset that the person has in their account. Based on the number of tokens, there is a weight assigned, and that is how the things work here. It's similar to proof of stake also, and there is less energy consumed here. Okay, I took some examples of consensus algorithm because there is not much information available for all the different type of consensus algorithms, but the most famous ones are proof of work and proof of stake. And proof of work is creating a lot of havoc because of the computation power and energy consumed. With that being said, guys, and conclusion is that proof of work and proof of activity are high electricity consuming algorithms, while remaining algorithms consumes less power. Ethereum is making a transition. Yeah, we already discussed that, to proof of stake. To stop GPU mining, Ethereum 2 shall be soon in the market. With proof of stake gaining popularity, soon the market shall be flooded with used CPUs. That is another negative impact, but that is beyond the debate of this video. Other references, please refer to this link. It's a nice article that I found. Okay, guys, keep learning and have a nice day. Please like and subscribe. And I will suggest don't do proof of work. Please do, or please invest your energy in proof of stake. It is also environment friendly. And keep investing, guys. Till then, goodbye and see you in the next video.